Computer. Hey everybody, this is Jennifer Pertner, and we are going to do role playing for team building, right? Like role playing with potential agents. And I need interaction from everybody. So, or if you can, I know some of like Kathy said Kathy and Susan are fighting cold, so they're gonna not probably interact as much with their sore throats, but um good. I see Chris is jumping on. Christina's here. Welcome, guys. Okay, so um when we get people that are interested in the business, there's always objections to whatever. So I want to kind of talk with you guys about what information do you give or how can we help them out. So I know that for me, um I get a lot of people that will say um it sounds like a scam or it sounds like it's too good to be true, right? And so those are always red flags. And I know that even when I came in, I looked up the reviews and the reviews were not, we know that they are not always the best. They don't always say the best things. So Scott, you want to tell how you would overcome that?
Yeah, so most of the excuses that I get are, well, I don't have the money right now, or I need to talk to my spouse or partner or whatever. Um, and one thing you can do in that case, and I offer this, and it doesn't happen a lot of times, but you can say, hey, I can hop on a Zoom with you and show you some more information if you like. And I could even talk to your spouse and assure him or her that this is not some kind of scam that we're trying to get you into. And it's just, you have to believe in what we have, right? So that's the main thing is, you share it with people, and then it's their decision whether they want to do it or not, because we have the best vehicle as far as I'm concerned, for doing this as a travel agent. So you just have to relay that message and somehow get past people thinking that everything in the world is a scam, because not everything is.
Right.
And we're legit. And if they do the research, and if they look at the right reviews, not people just with the a scam mentality, somebody's out to get me, then they will be assured that this is a good business.
And I would just add to that,
Yeah, go ahead.
Scott was a little bit skeptical. Well, I'm skeptical too because I'm an engineer. So ask your question again, Jennifer, since this is a role play. So ask your question and I'll
Yeah,
do the travel.
so I read some of the
So let's,
reviews and it seems like there's not very good reviews and that it's just, it's kind of like a scam or an MLM.
I am a skeptical engineer. And so that's exactly how I felt too. So here's what I'm here to tell you. I have been in this business 5 years. I have used our Marriott Fantastic rates and saved $4,532. I'm about to go save more in Atlanta this weekend. And we know this is not a scam because my husband and I have been doing this business for 5 years. We've had over 275 clients. And all I can say is this is how it's worked for us.
Right. I just had a girl she went to a info meeting, and then she was messaging me and saying the same thing, basically that she thought it was too good to be true. She looked at the reviews and she, was worried that it was a scam. And I told her, I said, I felt the same way. I looked at the reviews when I first started. I said, but, I've been doing this for 4 years, just like like you said, Joanne, you've been in it over five. And I basically told her that we have lots of agents that just book travel. It's not a recruiting entity. Like you do not have to ever recruit anyone. We're never pressured to recruit anyone because I think that sometimes people, get worried about that. And I also tell them there's no quotas, we have no minimums, right? Um, and basically, you've got a 10-day money back guarantee. I mean, I know we all know this, but these are things I make sure I emphasize with my people coming in. You have a 10-day money back guarantee. So, at 10 days, if you have come in and you've seen what we have to offer and it's not for you, you can, go in and get your money back. I said, or basically after that, it's a month to month, right? You're never locked in to anything long term. So I always, try to emphasize with people that even if you decide to invest 3 months, and then you decide it's not for you, you can stop at that point, you can cancel. So I always try to tell them they have an out and they're not going to ever know unless they try it. Because that was me. Like I was like, okay, you know what? I can read these reviews. And that's one thing I try to tell people is I can read these reviews and I can, see what they're saying, but I like to make my own opinion about things. I don't like to necessarily just go by what, everybody else says. And so I was not going to know unless I gave it a try, right? So that's something that I always like to try. And like the girl that I just talked with, once we talked on the phone a little bit and I explained to her, that and then like I also tell them that, there's people that just do this business just for the perks. They don't recruit anyone. They don't even barely book anything. They just want the discounts and the perks of being a travel agent. So, the fact that we have that to offer as well might be appealing to, some people. So you just have to kind of figure out too, like, if the people are coming in, like what is their reason for coming in, right? So these are some of my notes that I have taken over, my 4 years of how to overcome like MLMs, right? If people are afraid of it being an MLM. Um, you guys can see this, right? So, corporate jobs are a pyramid. I mean, if you have a corporate, there's somebody at the top, right? And that person, it oversees like all the other people that go down the line. And that person is probably always going to be the top person. Nobody's going to pass them up. Well, in our business, you could have a person that's maybe 3 tiers down all of a sudden take off and they could pass up, the person that's up at the top. So that's the difference with, that's the nice thing about our opportunity. Um, yeah, in a true MLM, if you got rid of the referral, would you still have a business? I always like to bring this one up because, even if we never recruited anyone, we could still have a travel business, right? So we could still book travel for people. And I don't think everybody like thinks of it maybe that way. It's kind of a good way to think of it, right? So like we don't have to have the referral side of it, but we still have a travel business. So if other MLMs, if they got rid of that referral or that recruiting, would they still have a business? That might be their full business. So that's, something to think about. Yeah, we are travel bookers first, like Joanne just said. Um, let's see. Please share codes of things they like to save money. Yeah. So, oh yeah. So, just like if you guys are, this was something I even told the girl coming on just recently. I said, if you watch a good TV show, what's the first thing you do? You tell your friends, like, oh, hey, I just saw this great TV show. You've got to watch it, right? Or if you read a good book, you're going to tell people about it, right? So it's just human nature to share the things that we like, right? So that's something too that, and for us, we just have the opportunity to share it and then make money from that. So I just tried to, tell her that it's just another opportunity, that we have. Um, Another avenue of income. So that's something too that you can remind people. Um, you can eventually or maybe right off the bat like make more than your mentor, right? So like that's something that you can again, with our opportunity, we can sort of jump different tiers, different levels, whatever. So you're not held back because of the person above you that, maybe isn't doing as much. You can make the choice to do more. Whereas in a corporate situation, that might not be the case, right? You might not be able to do more if your boss or your company doesn't want to do more. You're kind of stuck. You're kind of at that point. But we have the opportunity to, move and do as much as we want. Okay, always, yes, solidify the why. We can always tell people that, Ron and David were featured in Travel Weekly. Yeah, so these are just some other things that were some of my things. Scott, what did you want to say?
So I just try to let people know right up front that, we're here to be travel agents first. That is booking our clients travel, and we train you on how to do that. And then we're network marketers second, if you decide to do that. Now, not everybody wants to do that, but if at any point after you've started, if you want to start doing that, we're more than welcome, more than happy to help you with how to mentor and how to build a team. But that's totally an option, just like you said. That's just another way of making income. So
Right.
that's all.
And
Right.
if I can just jump in here too,
Yep.
the reviews that you were talking about, who gave those reviews for Evolution? People that got into this business and didn't want to work.
Right.
That's who gave those reviews. But I will tell you, if you go out and look, and hopefully all of you all have left a review for Evolution Travel, and then on Better Business Bureau, Archer is an A plus Better Business Bureau rated company. And they've booked over 500 million, maybe on track to book $1 billion this year. So those reviews are gone, just so you know. I just want to make sure all of the newer travel agents in here know that is a thing of the past.
Okay. Yep. Good to know. Yeah, and I think too, sometimes I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but other like travel
Competing companies.
yeah, competing companies, maybe, that don't have the opportunities that we have or don't get all the perks that we have, they will go in and put, negative reviews towards our opportunity because they don't have all the great opportunities that we have. And so I think that they try to, leave some of those bad reviews or whatever. So anyway, I don't know. But anyway, so those are, yeah, definitely, things to, and the other thing too, yeah, like even if, you go to a grocery store or you go to a restaurant, I mean, hopefully people are going to like leave a good review, but usually the people that are, people don't usually take action unless they are not happy with something, unfortunately. So you have to kind of keep that in mind too with reviews, as well. So. All right, Chris, did you have something else you wanted to ask or add in?
No, I'm driving, so I'm basically listening and chiming in when I can.
Okay, great. I was gonna see, I have some other scripts that I've gotten from just different people along the way, for role play for, overcoming objections. But let's do the one that I know I have a hard time. Like sometimes people will say, I don't have the money. I don't have the money right now. I can't invest the money or the time or we'll start with that one because I've got others too. What do you guys think?
Sarah Rogers would say, if money were no object, would you do this business? Now, I don't know how she follows it up, but I know that's what she starts off with.
Right. I know one of the ones she does too is she says, if we if we give you the blueprints to do this, if we give you the steps, if we show you how to do this, would you follow it? Would you, if we put you in front of travel agents that are booking $30,000, $40,000 a month, would you follow what they do? I know that's one of the things that she does. She says too. I've got to let's see if I can search and find these. I know what they're called. I just have to find them.
What comes to mind is saying something like, would you be willing to give up one evening out at a restaurant to build yourself a business that could lead to unbelievable income, or that's kind of something that comes to mind, because if you give up one small thing, you could have your own business
And leave a legacy.
and leave
You
a
can be
legacy.
able to leave this to your children.
Right. Yeah. Oh, wait.
I know people often talk about giving up Starbucks, and but I think, if you say one evening out at a restaurant, because we all eat out, I guarantee everybody eats out at
Yeah.
least once or twice, probably more than that, because restaurants are always busy.
Right. Okay. I've got to look. Let's see. I know I've got these scripts on my oh there, I can move it down there. In my notes. Let's see. Google, where are they at? Not meets, keeps. Here we go. Okay. Do, 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 do. Let's find these scripts. Here we go. Okay. Wonder if I can oh, here we go. Do, do, do. Let's see.
If you have Sarah's list, if that's what you're looking for, you should be able to share it in the chat box.
Okay. Well, this is kind of a mix of a lot of things. But anyway. All right. Here we go. Objections. I'm nervous. I wouldn't know how to sell or find clients. So this is a common one too. Um, I'm nervous. What would be, you guys have any ideas, or you want me to just share what I've got? You always want to let them know that you understand their objection. Like, even if you have to lie a little bit, right? Like a little white lie. No, maybe you've never felt that, maybe that hasn't been a problem for you, but you want to say, I totally get that. I completely understand, your feeling. Most, and like here it says, most people feel nervous at the start. Okay, let me ask you, if you did know how to find clients, how would that change things for you? So I love how Sarah, these are from Sarah. I don't have her on here, but I've copied them from her stuff. Sarah Rogers. So, but this is, these are what she says. This is exactly why our mentorship works so well. You're not guessing, right? We teach the same strategies our top agents use to book $20,000 to $90,000 months, step by step. No selling experience needed. It's all positioning. If we put you in front of the people already doing it and handed you the blueprint, would you follow the steps? Yeah, so that's a common one. That she says, I'll copy this and paste it and I'll put it in the chat for you guys.
Is there any way that you can share this with us? Like
Yeah, so
email?
I thought I could find it in my Google Drive, but I can't. It's in there somewhere. I'll have to
I'll
just
get on
look.
my computer. You go ahead and talk, and I'll get on my
Okay.
computer and
Okay.
see if I can share it for you.
Okay, good. Because you want me to put these in the chat or no? Just wait till that's fine. We can do that. Okay. So, yeah, I always love how she, turns it back around and says, like, if we, basically can teach you how to do this, are you willing to learn? Those are some really good ways to say it. All right. How do I get clients? Right? Great question. And again, it's kind of the same idea for her answers, but this is exactly why our training exists. So you're not guessing, hoping, or wasting time on trial and error. We show you the same strategies that our top producing agents use to consistently book $20,000 to $80,000 in travel every single month. This business isn't about chasing clients, it's about positioning and getting in front of clients before they book. And we teach you how to do that step by step, online, offline, app, social, email marketing, whatever lane fits you best. You're learning directly from agents who are actively winning, not theory. No gatekeeping, no fluff, just duplication. If we put you in front of the people already doing it, handed you the blueprint, and showed you exactly how to apply it, would you actually follow the steps? So, yeah, she's basically saying, would you follow these steps? Those are, I feel like that's always, great. And then usually people are like, well, yeah, I'll follow the steps. And so then you say, great, let's get you started so I can give you those blueprints, right? Like of how to do that. The other thing I was going to say too is I like to tell people everybody is traveling. You know what I mean? Like everyone is traveling. We just have to learn how to put ourselves in front of those people, right? Because, people are going on cruises, people are booking hotel rooms. Um, okay, Susan's saying, I'm not sure where to find people to become agents. Okay, good point, Susan. So I will tell you one thing I've been doing, and I'm gonna pull up my Facebook and I'll show you guys what I've been doing lately. And this has been getting me lots of bookings. So I just scroll through well, let's go to my groups. Um, I have I have um joined some of these different mom groups. Like I live in Cape Coral, so Cape Coral community groups. Let me see down here. What else we got? Work from home, South Carolina. Well, I don't live in South Carolina, but I went ahead and, joined that group. Work from home job seekers. Um, just a mom, like, I don't know, Real Moms of Naples, Mom Life, Mom Supporting Moms. So if I pull up like one of these groups, I'm not going to post like, you know, hey, I'm a travel agent, get on my team, right? Like, because that's going to be like a complete turn off, I feel, for people. But if you scroll down, like on in some of these groups, sometimes they will put these are grades. Okay, so this one maybe doesn't have anything right now. It's got a lot of videos, looks like. Okay, let's look at another one. I don't even remember. I know I commented on a few of these just even this morning. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll just pull my Facebook up and it pulls them up. All right, I was doing that one. But what basically they're saying, how are moms making money? What are you guys doing, stay-at-home moms? And then I'll reply, oh, I love being a travel agent, and I'll just reply on their comments, on their posts. And that's what's been getting me a lot of interaction from okay, so this one, like this person looking for moms who are wanting a way to bring in some money while working around their kids' schedules. So she's trying obviously to recruit people, but then you can see, interested, like she's not even telling what she's doing. So if you want to put posts like that on there, you can definitely, put in some posts and then I don't know what okay, so then she's just private messaging them. So that's one way. I mean, look at all these interested. Can I message you? What do you do? So then they're asking, what does she do? But a lot of these are saying interested. There's 154 comments on that one, just by her saying, you want to bring in some extra money? So that's, somebody else that's putting it out there, right? I know that where were some of that? Let me see if I can find stay-at-home moms. These stay-at-home mom groups, they put stuff on there too about, how do you make some money staying from home, working from home. Um, and at first I was like, oh, but they're stay-at-home moms, like are they going to want to make, are they going to want to work? Which sometimes I guess they wouldn't, but you know, anyway, so you can look at these, try to join some of the groups. I will be honest, I try to look and see who else is in the group, right? So if I see that like Joanne's in there and, Chris Means is in there and like other whatever travel agents that maybe I know, I might not join that group, which I mean, I guess it's totally up to you, but I don't want to be going into a group and having to try to compete with a whole bunch of other travel agents. Not that our group is competing with each other, but even if other travel agents, whatever, I'm not gonna go in there and try to, do that. But you know, y- it's up to you how you want to run your business and do things. But anyway, so these are, I do try to join some of the groups and then like I said, comment on off of other people's posts. The other thing I did, and I mean you guys can do whatever you want, but I made a landing page in Travefy that is just for, whoops, nope, this one. That is just for team building. Um, and I can show to you guys now if you want. Let's see here, Travel Elite. Okay, so preview. Let's look at this. So I put this link on every single time I comment, I put this link. And I want people to come here and I want them to see this. And I kind of took this idea from Ash Knows Travel. She does something very similar. She gives them a link and then it comes in and like I said, I kind of copied it from her ideas. So I'm using the blueprint, guys. Like, right? Like steal from the people that are doing the good stuff. Anyway, so this is my just landing page. Build a real travel business, right? Turn your passion for travel into a paycheck. Everyone is traveling. Have you ever booked a hotel or cruise for your family members? You are an unpaid travel agent. Why not make money from it? No experience needed, right? Okay, here, this is me and my husband. I like to put this on here because this is what we do, right? And then I've put on like what we've booked, and then I put on like how we use our travel agent perks. So these are the trips that we've taken because I want them to see that I feel like that's one of the perks of being a travel agent, right? Is to be able to use those perks. And then I have a link for them to sign up for a meeting. And so this is what I do. And I get probably like one of these a day. Now, do the people go to meetings? No, not necessarily, but I have gotten quite a few people that say they want to go to a meeting. So now I just have to figure out how to get them to a meeting, right? So anyway, so those are some ideas that I do. But I would like to talk with you guys about how do you follow up? This is where I run short. I get the inquiries and then they might even go to a meeting and then I might get ghosted or, I get no reply. Like I had one person, they went to the meeting. I said, "Oh, what part of the meeting, what did you like the most about it? What was appealing to you?" I think is how I said it. And she wrote back all of it. And I was like, great, let's get you signed up, let's get you started. And so I sent her the link, the sign up link or whatever, and nothing. And now I have no response, from her. So what do you guys do at that point?
So we've had this happen several times, like more times than I can probably count.
Yep.
But I mean, and I always say I don't chase people.
Right.
Okay, that they've been presented the information, they know the facts. If they want to pursue it, they're going to get back in touch with me if they're serious.
Right.
Now, if they really were serious and this is something they want to do, you can usually tell. I mean, especially if you've possibly had a conversation with them before they even went to the meeting. Um, a couple of things that Fred Howe always asks, and we try to ask this too. What is it that you like best about the information that you received? And the other question is, what is your reason for not starting today? He just wants to get them off the fence immediately. If they're not ready, of course, he's in a different situation than we are. He's a platinum, and he doesn't have to be quite as choosy with the folks that he's bringing in. But he'll just say, either you want to do it or have a nice life. That's not what he says, but anyway,
Right.
that he probably would say that. So it's just, it is frustrating sometimes, but you just got to stay positive and say, hey, every no that I get, it's one step closer to the next person that's going to become a travel agent, right? That's the way you have to look at it. I mean, if you have to go through 10, 20, 30 to get two, it was worth it, right? So, I will follow up with them. If they ghost me, I'll send them one message. And then if they don't get back with me in a couple of days, I usually don't bother them anymore. Used to, I would just keep sending them messages. I don't do that anymore.
Right. Yeah, Lindsay mentioned that a lot of people need 20 touch points before following through. And I do agree with that. I mean, I talked to a guy and he was ready. Like I said, we did I gave him all the information. I did the info session with him one-on-one, just me. And I said, okay, what are your thoughts? And he's like, I'm interested, And he said, let me talk with my wife. And so then I followed up with him, I think a day or two later, and he was like, "Oh, my wife's a hard sell," is what he said. And I said, "Well, I can talk with her if you would like to, if you would like me to." I'm like, and I tried to remind him that, we had the 10-day money back guarantee and also the, month to month. So, you're never really fully locked into anything long term. So, Lindsay, yeah, you said I set that landing page up through Travefy. So I'm not
Clarify.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Do they? I don't know if they have funnels. I honestly don't know anything about funnels or know how to do that.
You literally have almost exactly set up what a funnel would essentially be. The only thing is that you aren't collecting any information on your funnel right now. So, or like on your landing. So basically a funnel is a landing page,
Right.
like what you've set up. And then it's for them, want more information, click here. And then when they click there, they enter their name. I know like all of us have gotten into funnels because anytime somebody wants your email, right? And you end up on the email list. That's exactly what a funnel is. So
Okay,
you have
so
a
when
landing page.
yeah, so when they click on that, it takes them to my TidyCal, and then they do enter their email and their phone number. So yes, I guess I'm using a funnel. I didn't even know.
Well, so perfect. So if they enter their email and you have somewhere on there you agreeing to emails, then from there, even if you don't have the ability to set up an actual like funnel system on Travefy, you could do something like MailerLite or whatever and get them on, because you should be able to create kind of like a automation sequence where you plug in emails that automatically go out after somebody gets into that.
Yes.
So can I say something to make it super simple for anybody new to mentoring?
Yep.
The quote that Scott said, it actually came from Nikki. And she says, tell me what you like best about what you heard. But the thing that you have to do to ask that question is call them. And I think our business gets a bad rap because we've emailed them a link to sign up for Calendly. They've gotten emails from us or texts from us or whatever. Wouldn't you think we are robots? So the moment that you call them, and typically after the call, when I have time, I follow up with a phone call with these folks. Now, I haven't done as great lately, and all those people that Scott said he discounts, I need to follow up with them because one of them could be an Amy Cabrera, for goodness sakes. In case anybody on here doesn't know, Marnie chased her for 6 months. 6 months. And look at, she's there with Founder and David and Ron looking at our next convention. So we don't want to miss those people. That's all I'm saying.
Do you get
But
people that answer, like they'll answer your call? They'll answer? Because I don't answer my call if I don't know who the person is.
Sometimes, and what I'll do if I don't get that answer is I will leave a voice message. Hey, I just want to introduce myself and my husband and let you know we're real people, and we would be glad to talk to you about anything else you have or answer any questions that they maybe didn't answer. So they need to hear my excited voice,
Yeah.
And that on my team anyway, they have said, many of them have said, and a few have left have said this, I would never have signed up on this business if you hadn't called me.
Yeah. Well, and yes, we can definitely leave a voicemail because I know, like, even the girl that just signed up with me, she, she was hesitant. And then she said, oh, I read the reviews and it, whatever. And I said, can I call you? And so then she said, yes, please do. So then we talked a little bit and then she was like, okay, I'm gonna, give it a try. So but I don't know why I feel funny about calling people. I don't know. I think it's just something with me or
if you believe in what you do,
yeah,
it gets easier. The first one was not that easy. Lord have mercy, it was not that easy. I'm like, who can I have on this call with me? Like, I'm nervous, But
yeah,
the more you believe in what you do, the easier that call is going to be. Sorry, I interrupted you, hon.
So if you send out if someone applies or whatever, if you're using a platform, whatever, and they come back and they respond, hey, I'm very interested. This is more about me. That's usually when I say, hey, do you mind if I get on a quick call with you before you come to the meeting? That just reassures people that, we're real. This is a real thing. I give them like a 5-minute rundown of where we are and where we came from and how long we've done this and what we've enjoyed while we've been travel agents. And that's really reassures people that this is not some kind of scam kind of thing. Now, does that always end up in someone becoming a travel agent? Not necessarily, because everybody's going to have excuses to why they can't. But it is a big help to get on a call with them.
right.
That's been the key.
Yeah, because something made them, reach out, something made them put in their email and their phone number. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always like, okay, so I have to just change my mindset. There we go. Everybody has to just change your mindset, right? Like, we have to, I definitely know that we have, an amazing opportunity. There's no question about that. I don't ever question that. I know that we have, the best one, but yeah, we just have to not let our objections, not let our whatever ideas in our minds, right? Like stop us. Okay, so we have to.
Fred says, and this is Fred's comment. You're right, Scott. Don't let our excuses excuse us, because he and Ashley said at convention, you have to decide how bad you want it.
Yeah.
And that answers it. Like, you have to decide, am I going to do this till I'm executive bronze, gold, and silver, or am I not?
Right.
Now, easier said than done, because Scott and I have a bigger team than gold, but we need people in certain legs. So that's the balancing act that we can talk about another time.
Right. I'm hanging that one up. I have to decide how bad I want it. How bad I want it. Right in my face so I can see it every morning.
and something else, and whether you're using some sort of quote job platform or whether you're just putting feelers out in groups or whatever, that kind of thing, that's all fine and good. But the best tool that we have is being able to go out into the public and just open your mouth and tell people that you're a travel agent and tell them about what we do, what we're able to do, what the income we're able to make, the perks we're able to enjoy. Those are the things that those are the ways you're going to get probably more of your agents.
Right.
So,
Let Chris tell how long it took for us to get her our rock star.
Okay, well, about, I don't know, right after you started the business, I think is when you first um, presented it to me. And, I'll admit it was interesting and I thought about it, but I was so busy then. And I said, oh, I don't think I could do it. I'm just too busy. It's too much going on in my life right now. Darn it. And then, a little over 2 years ago, you did it again. You said, you're planning this Hawaii trip, you could get paid to do it. Then it was a little different time in my life because then I was actually looking for something to do after I retired. So sometimes it's the timing that matters. That's
Right.
why we should always follow up periodically with people.
Yeah, I agree with that too, Chris, because like you said, some people, I've had people tell me, oh, I can't right now, I'm too busy. And then they might reach back out to me or, something. And then later on down the road, they're ready or whatever, they want to do it. So yeah, we have to just keep following up and yeah, work through it with them. Any other objections that anybody wants to talk about? Let's see what else I got on here. Anything else? These are just let me see if I have in my command center anything. Let's see. What have I got
The
here?
money thing sometimes is a tough one. So what is it that Sarah says on our closing scripts? I put that in there, Jennifer.
Oh,
Or did you
okay.
want to click
Oh, I
it?
can open it up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
saw.
because the money thing's a tough one sometimes
oh,
because,
you just reminded me of something. There's someone I need to call. She said that she could sign up Friday. She'll have the money. So,
there you
All
go.
right, there you go.
And that's just it. You gotta keep on them when they say, okay, catch me on Friday. That's a good business owner that you actually follow up with them on Friday.
Right. Right, because life gets crazy and, starting a travel business isn't maybe their priority in life, right? So even though we're trying to make it ours, yeah. Um,
The lady that you said, Jennifer,
yeah.
that you just followed up with, what was her excuse?
She thought it was a scam, like MLM and she thought that it was, yeah, too good to be true, was what a text that she sent me and yeah, a scam.
Well, let me ask this because I know you have a team meeting. We have a team meeting with our team. Do you ever invite her to your team meeting to meet the other people who are doing this, who are not scammers?
Right, right. I told her about our team meeting. I said we have a team meeting every Tuesday, and I think I did invite her. And actually, I think she signed up before we even had her got to that Tuesday. She had already gone ahead and signed up. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, yes, you can definitely do that. That's a great idea too. So, what was it on here? Sorry, I lost track of my
Uh,
thoughts.
the money objection.
Oh yeah, okay. Let's see if I can find it. The meeting has ended. Okay, here we go. Mm. I'm just not ready to make a decision. All right, this one I need to speak to my husband. Yeah, that's always a common one, right? I need to speak to my husband. I used what she said on that with one of my current agents. And yeah, it seemed to work. I mean, it took her a little while to like sign up, but then she did eventually sign up. I didn't even have to really stay on her, or I didn't follow up well with her. But anyway, she did end up signing on. So, okay, let's see. I'm comparing my options. Okay, here we go. I'm worried about paying the 89.99 every month. I need to make money, not spend money. Yeah. I like the way on one of hers, she said something about, yes, no one wants an extra bill or something, no one wants to have an extra bill. Let's see. Yeah, is an ongoing payment. Okay, the goal is for you to make money from this and keep your business in the green. With only one solid booking a month, you can make the 89.99 back and more to not only cover the monthly, but also earn a profit from this business. Yeah, so when I do the informational meetings and I show and I have people coming on, I always pull up a Royal Caribbean cruise and I use like Star of the Seas with two guests in a balcony, an ocean view balcony, and the common, cost on that is $6,000 to $7,000. I usually pick like, well, we're getting closer to Christmas, so it's almost sold out now, but like I try to pick like, spring break time, winter common times that people travel. And like I said, it's about, six or 7,000. And then the commission on that is usually 700 to $800 commission. And so I show people that, and then I say to them, if you book that one cruise, that will basically cover your monthly fee almost for the whole year. And then at that point, your business is profitable, So that's something that I like to show them, or if you book two cruises, you're already making money, from your business. Your business is profitable for the year. So so that's something, even my husband, he was like, you have to make sure that show people that like,
Mhm.
that's a great point that's going to be covered, that 89.99 is going to be covered in
You're
1 to 2 bookings.
And I don't know if you heard my quote about Marriott. That $4,532 saving has paid for me to be in this business the whole 5 years I've been here.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, if they can understand that, and, I know it's Ashley or somebody does the, well, if you have a job outside of the house, don't you have to have gas? Don't you have to have
Right.
clothes? And all of that. And we have to do nothing. We can sit around book travel in our pajamas.
Right. Right. And even, nurses and teachers and, you have to get a license every year. I mean, or maybe not every year, but you have to pay, money. I mean, to keep your license up to date. Real estate agents, I think they have to pay like, I don't know, 400, $500 um, to renew, I believe, their license every year. I'm not 100% sure exactly how much, but yeah, I mean, you're having to pay that every month plus whatever, insurance or everything else that a business requires. And, ours is all tied in to that one monthly fee. So those are good points too. I also like to remind people that you're building a small business, and you can then use your small business for tax write-offs. If, I mean, and I say to them, I'm not an accountant, so I can't give you any kind of specific legal advice, but there are definitely advantages to having a small business, And I also lately, I've been also saying to people, would you rather build your own business for yourself or build someone else's business? And that was a big reason even for me. No, I didn't join for that reason, but then that's what sort of switched my mindset in my travel business to start taking my travel business seriously was, I was tired of building something for someone else when I had this opportunity to build my own business, and I get people in these groups that say, "Oh, I don't want, commission only." excuse me, I don't want commission only. I don't want, scams or whatever. And I'm like, and I'll say to them, I know that you said, not commission only. I'm like, but what if you could build your own business rather than building a business for someone else? So again, if you can just try to shift their mindset, because we are sort of taught that you should have a 9 to 5, like you need to have that money coming in, right? So it can be tough for people that don't think that way, or, you know, maybe have a different mindset or are against, any kind of a commission-based um job or opportunity, right? So you have to kind of try to help, I don't know, change those wheels, change that thinking, right? So yeah, so this file is a great file to use like for all your different objections. And I think I showed you guys, I take some of these objections and I put them into my own notes. And I have these scripts on my phone so that I can just copy and paste, just confirming your oh yeah, let me see uh if I can share it. You want to share it again? Can you share that link again, Joanne? Amanda came in, I think, after you shared it. So I keep these scripts on my phone and I just, copy and paste them and put them into my emails or into my text messages, or, um, however you're, let's see if I can do it. I think I can maybe do it. Share. I don't know if I can share it because she shared it. Let's see.
I'm so sorry. I was in the other room. I'll
No,
get it
that's
here
okay.
in just a second.
Oh,
I'm
here.
in the
I
middle
probably
of
can just
typing.
copy it from here, right? I
Yeah,
think I
you
should
should
be
be
able to
able
do
to,
it. Okay, there we
because
go.
you're host, you should be able to
Okay.
copy it and paste it again.
Okay. Hopefully that works, Amanda. Let us know if it doesn't. Um, okay, perfect. Yay. All right. I try to do all this. I'm not very tech savvy though. I just do the best I can. That's all we can do, right, everybody? No. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot through all this. I will say that. I do like the fact that I feel like I have learned a lot through this business, and that it has made me more tech savvy, and that definitely is like, makes me happy about this business. And so that's something you can also, like tell your friends and customers and potential team members. So it's not only, you're not just sitting around withering away, right? We don't want to wither away. No, I wanted to do something productive. So, all right, well, we're just about at 12 o'clock. So if you guys have any other questions, um, jump
I was
in
going to say
now.
what you just said. That is one of the greatest selling points that we have in this business. When you get into this business, the rest of your training, support, mentoring is all free. And not every host agency has that. So that's a great selling point as well.
Right. And I've never been in another host agency, but I know we had some come from other hosts, and they would even say that, the other travel agents weren't necessarily nice to each other. They wouldn't, they almost made new people feel stupid, or like they were a burden if they were asking questions and things like that. And, I love how we all work together and we kind of bounce ideas off each other and we inspire each other and we, cheer for each other. And I think that that's another, yes, great point, because some people just want that community, right? And that's what their why might be. So you always have to find what their why is and then try to build on that. And you just have to find what's gonna help them out, and then they might just join your team, right? You never know. But anyway, if we have any other questions, I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording. Let's see if I can move all my stuff around.
Thank you
All
for
right.
doing such a great job.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for coming, everybody.